More often than not, we know about the most popular gods of the ancient Egyptians, and it seems that these cults are the richest and most interesting. In fact, this is not entirely true, and the Egyptians had more ancient, powerful, and interesting deities. The images of the gods among the Egyptians were different, and often their images are surprising. Of course, to lovers of Egyptian mythology, this god may be familiar. However, not everyone knows him. Sebek was a very revered deity. The waters were under his rule. He bestowed rich harvests on the villagers. He provided a nourishing life for the inhabitants of the Water Kingdom. He was the creator and protector of people, known for his voraciousness. Once he ate a whole pack of enemies, thereby saving the Egyptians from danger. They used to depict this god as a man with a crocodile's head. Sometimes he appeared as a crocodile completely. The god who lives in the kingdom of the dead helps his father Osiris. Babin is depicted as a baboon, sometimes with an enlarged sex organ. This god was exclusively a local god, and his cult was not very influential. She was portrayed as a member of the feline family. She could be a panther, a cheetah, a lioness, and a cat. Sometimes she was depicted as a mongoose. A popular image of the goddess was a female but with an animal head. More often, she was depicted with a cheetah's head. On the head of Mafdet were strands consisting of snakes. A cruel but fair goddess was defender of the pharaohs. Ordinary people also turned to her for help. The goddess saved the suffering of the sick, helped relieve suffering. Further, she was associated with the afterlife. A very ancient goddess, originally associated with fertility and the afterlife. She protected the dead and the living. She guarded domestic peace, was the patroness of women in childbirth. Interestingly, the goddess was associated with Seth. The god had fond feelings for Tort and even made her his concubine. However, after the battle with Horus, Seth's influence was abolished. Tort was granted her long-awaited freedom. The goddess was depicted as a female hippopotamus. Researchers believe that this goddess may have been depicted as pregnant. She had lion legs, female breasts, and a female wig on her head. The goddess had a crocodile's tail and a horny crown on her head. The image of Tart was peculiar, but she could be portrayed in a simpler way, as a woman or a woman with a lion's head. There are many Egyptian gods with lion heads, but Shesmu is different. He was originally depicted as a man with a lion's head. The god's mane and his fangs were covered in blood. He wore skulls on his belt. Later, the god was portrayed completely in the form of a lion, and in a later period, he took the image of a man who held a press to create spirits and oils as an attribute. He was originally a deity of winemaking and fertility. The Egyptians celebrated the feast in honor of Shesmu on a large scale. At the same time, his connection with the afterlife was strengthened. Initially, he betrayed the strength of the dead kings, was the protector of mummies, the guardian of Duat. But soon, his image became more bloody. Shesmu came to be regarded as the destroyer of souls. She lives in Duat and awaits new batches of sinners. Ameth represents inevitable punishment. In addition, she was portrayed as the protector of kings. Often, she accompanied the god of wisdom Thoth. Ammon was depicted rather peculiarly. She had the body of a hippopotamus, a lion, and a leopard, and at the same time, her paws were those of a lion. The front part of her body resembled a crocodile. The goddess had an elongated mouth with huge teeth. Some texts indicated that Ammon was a lake of fire and Duat. Sinners fall into it.